8 years together, and she betrayed me for everyone to see.
The flash drive was still warm when I pulled it from Melissa's secret box, and I knew my marriage was about to become a crime scene. Let me back up. My name is Alex Grant, and until 3 hours ago I thought my biggest problem was explaining to my wife why our internet bill had mysteriously doubled. Turns out she'd been uploading enough homemade content to crash Netflix's servers. But I'm getting ahead of myself. It's Tuesday morning in suburban Millfield, Connecticut, and I'm sitting in what used to be our dining room, but now looks like Amazon's warehouse had a nervous breakdown. I work from home as an IT consultant, which means I've turned our house into a technological fortress of solitude. Melissa, my wife of 18 years, sells real estate and treats our home like a hotel she occasionally visits between client meetings. Alex, did you move my things again? Melissa's voice cuts through my morning coffee ritual like a buzzsaw through plywood. She's standing in the doorway, all 5'7" of perfectly maintained suburban carnivore, holding her phone like it contains the secrets of the universe. Define things, I say, not looking up from my laptop. If you mean the stack of contracts you left on my keyboard, then yes, they're on the kitchen counter where papers belong, not on equipment that costs more than your monthly Botox budget. She rolls her eyes with the practiced efficiency of someone who's perfected the art of marital disdain. Very funny. Have you seen my black box? Now that gets my attention. Melissa never mentions her personal items. She guards her privacy like Fort Knox guards gold. What black box? Never mind. She's already walking away, heels clicking against our hardwood floors like a countdown timer. I'll find it myself. But she won't find it because our cleaning lady Marta discovered it yesterday while I was debugging a client's network disaster. Marta is 26, precise as a Swiss watch, and loyal as a golden retriever. She's also got the curiosity of a cat, which is how she ended up finding Melissa's little treasure chest hidden behind the winter coats in our bedroom closet. "Mr. Alex," she'd said in her careful English, "I find something strange. You want to see?" The box was about the size of a shoebox, matte black, with a combination lock that had been left open. Inside, items that would make a Zek shop blush, and one innocent-looking flash drive labeled M and J private. I should have closed the box. Should have told Marta to put it back. Should have minded my own business and gone back to fixing other people's computer problems. Instead, I plugged that drive into my most secure laptop. 3 hours later, I'm still staring at the screen, watching my wife perform acts with a man who definitely isn't me. The guy is younger, more muscular, and apparently more flexible than a yoga instructor on steroids. His face is clear in every shot, and he's got the kind of cocky grin that says he knows exactly what he's doing to someone else's marriage. But here's the kicker. It's not just one guy. There are videos with 3 different men and 2 women, all shot in locations I recognize: our bedroom, our kitchen, the guest bathroom with the fancy tile work I installed last summer. The metadata on these files tells a story that makes my coffee taste like battery acid. Dates going back 6 months. Times when I was supposedly at client sites. My own home turned into a production studio for Melissa's extracurricular activities. I'm not heartbroken. I'm not even surprised. What I am is calculating. See, most guys would storm upstairs, wave the evidence around, and demand explanations. Most guys would lawyer up immediately or post everything on social media for maximum humiliation. Most guys don't spend their days thinking like a systems administrator, where every problem has a logical solution and every solution requires careful planning. Melissa thinks she's been clever. She thinks she's covered her tracks. She thinks I'm the boring, predictable husband who's too buried in his work to notice what's happening in his own house. She's about to learn that boring and predictable doesn't mean stupid. I copy everything to an encrypted drive, then create backups on 3 separate secure servers. I document timestamps, cross-reference them with my travel schedule, and build a digital paper trail that would make a forensic accountant weep with joy. Then I research the main guy in the videos. His name is Jackson Reed, but apparently everyone calls him Jax. He's a personal trainer at Elite Fitness downtown, drives a custom Mustang that probably costs more than most people's annual salary, and has an Instagram account that screams, "I peaked in high school but refused to admit it." He's also got a record. Nothing major, a few attack charges that got dropped, some financial disputes with former clients, and a restraining order from an ex-girlfriend who apparently didn't appreciate his charm. The kind of guy who looks good in photos but probably can't spell integrity without autocorrect. Perfect. I'm still researching when Melissa comes back downstairs, dressed for another client meeting in an outfit that costs more than my monthly car payment. "I'll be late tonight," she announces, checking her reflection in the hallway mirror. "Big showing in Hartford. Might not be back until after midnight." "Sure," I say, not looking up from my screen. "I'll leave the porch light on." She pauses and I can feel her studying me. After 18 years of marriage, she knows when something's different, but she's also arrogant enough to assume I'm too dense to figure out her games. "Alex, is everything okay? You seem distant?" I finally look up, giving her my best impression of a concerned husband. "Just work stuff. Client emergency, you know how it is?" She nods, satisfied with the explanation. "Well, don't wait up. This could take all night." I'll bet it could. After she leaves, I call my lawyer. Miriam Klein has been handling my business contracts for 5 years, and she's got the kind of sharp legal mind that could cut glass. She's also got zero tolerance for cheating spouses and a reputation for leaving opposing counsel crying in courtrooms. "Alex, what can I do for you?" Her voice is crisp, professional, with just a hint of the carnivore instinct that makes her so effective. "I need to discuss a hypothetical situation involving marital infidelity and digital evidence." There's a pause, then a sound that might be Miriam cracking her knuckles. "How hypothetical are we talking?" "About as hypothetical as gravity." "I'll clear my afternoon. Bring everything." 2 hours later, I'm sitting in Miriam's office, watching her review the contents of Melissa's flash drive with the focused intensity of a surgeon examining x-rays. "Well," she finally says, "your wife certainly has diverse interests." That's one way to put it. The good news is that Connecticut is a no-fault divorce state, so infidelity won't affect the basic proceedings. The bad news is that she's going to fight you on everything. House, custody, assets. What if she can't fight? Miriam raises an eyebrow. "Explain. What if she's too busy dealing with other problems to focus on fighting me?" "Alex, I need to advise you not to do anything illegal." "I wouldn't dream of it. I'm just thinking about the power of information, how it can be shared, how it can affect someone's professional reputation, social standing, personal relationships." Miriam leans back in her chair, and I can see the wheels turning. "Hypothetically speaking, if someone were to discover that a real estate agent was using client properties for personal activities, that could affect their license. If someone were to learn that a married person was engaging in risky behavior that could affect their family's health and safety, that could impact custody decisions. If someone were to find out that a person was associating with individuals of questionable character, hypothetically. Of course." She closes the laptop. "I'll start drawing up papers. In the meantime, I suggest you document everything. Financial records, communication patterns, any changes in behavior or routine. The more evidence you have of her activities, the stronger your position becomes. Already on it. And Alex, be careful. Cornered animals tend to bite." I drive home through the suburbs, past houses that look just like mine, filled with families that might be just like mine, or might be completely different. It's impossible to tell from the outside, glass houses and all that. But here's the thing about glass houses. They're only fragile if you're the one throwing stones. If you're the one inside, watching everyone else's rocks bounce off, you've got all the advantages. Melissa thinks she's been playing me for a fool. She thinks she's smarter, more sophisticated, more worldly than her boring IT husband who spends his days fixing other people's problems. She's about to discover that I've been fixing problems a lot longer than she's been creating them. And I'm very, very good at my job. I pull into our driveway, looking at our house with new eyes. It's not home anymore. It's not a sanctuary or a safe haven or any of those warm, fuzzy concepts that marriage counselors talk about. It's a battlefield, and I just figured out where all the landmines are buried. My phone buzzes with a text from Melissa. "Showing going great, might be even later than expected. Don't wait up." I text back, "No problem. Take all the time you need." And I mean it, because while she's busy with her showing, I'll be busy preparing for the main event. Tonight, when she comes home smelling like another man's cologne and spinning stories about difficult clients, I'm going to sit her down for a conversation she'll never forget. The flash drive is still warm in my pocket, and my marriage is about to become a crime scene. But this time, I'm not the sufferer. Melissa comes home at 1:47 a.m., and I know this because I've been watching the security cameras I installed last month under the guise of protecting our investment. She parks in the driveway instead of the garage, which means she doesn't want to wake me with the automatic door. Thoughtful of her, really. I'm sitting in the kitchen, laptop open, nursing my fourth cup of coffee and putting the finishing touches on what I like to think of as my presentation. The evidence is organized, cross-referenced, and backed up in more places than a paranoid spy's secret documents. She tries to slip in quietly, but our hardwood floors have never been subtle. I hear her heels click twice before she remembers to take them off, the soft padding of stockings on wood, the careful placement of keys on the hallway table. "Alex?" Her voice is barely above a whisper. "Are you awake?" "In here," I call back, keeping my voice neutral. "Kitchen." She appears in the doorway, and I have to admit she's good at this. Her makeup is perfect, hair still styled, clothes unwrinkled. If I didn't know better, I'd believe she really had spent the evening showing houses to demanding clients. "Why are you up so late?" She moves to the refrigerator, playing the part of the tired wife grabbing a late-night snack. "I told you not to wait up." "Couldn't sleep, work stuff on my mind." I gesture to the laptop. "You know how it is," she nods, pouring herself a glass of wine. "The Hartford showing went really well. The clients are very interested, but they're picky. Took forever to go through everything." I'm sure it did. Something in my tone makes her look at me more carefully. After 18 years, she knows when the temperature in the room has changed. "Alex, what's wrong? You seem different." "Do I?" I close the laptop and give her my full attention. "Maybe it's because I had an interesting day. Made some discoveries. Found some things that put everything in perspective." She takes a sip of wine, buying time. "What kind of discoveries?" "The kind that make you realize you don't know someone as well as you thought you did." Now she's alert. The wine glass stops halfway to her lips, and I can see her mind racing through possibilities. What could I have found? How much do I know? What's her best play here? "I don't understand what you're talking about." "Sure you do." I reopen the laptop and turn it around so she can see the screen. It's paused on one of her videos, the preview image showing her and Jax in a position that would make a contortionist jealous. "Want to explain this?" The wine glass slips from her fingers and shatters on the kitchen floor, sending Pinot Grigio and glass fragments across the tiles we picked out together 3 years ago. "Alex, I can explain." "Can you? Because I've got about 6 hours of video here that tells a pretty clear story. Multiple partners, multiple locations, multiple times when you were supposedly at work." I click through the files, each preview image more explicit than the last. "This is quite a collection, Melissa. Very thorough documentation." She's gone pale, but I can see her regrouping. Melissa didn't become a successful real estate agent by crumbling under pressure. She's calculating her response, looking for angles, trying to figure out how to spin this. "It's not what you think." "Really? Because what I think is that my wife has been running a personal adult movie studio out of our house while I've been working to pay for it. What I think is that she's been screwing multiple people in our bed, our kitchen, and our guest bathroom. What I think is that she's been lying to me for months while putting my health at risk and turning our home into her personal playground." "Alex, please, let me explain." "Explain what? That this isn't you in the videos? That this isn't our house? That this isn't our bedroom with the custom headboard I built for our anniversary?" I lean forward, and my voice drops to barely above a whisper. "Or maybe you want to explain why you thought I was stupid enough not to figure it out?" The tears start then, perfect crystalline drops that don't smear her mascara. Even her crying is calculated. "I never meant for this to happen. It started as something innocent, and then it got out of control." "Innocent? Melissa, you had more people in our bed than there are in my LinkedIn network. That's not innocent, that's industrial scale infidelity." "Don't be crude." "Crude? I'm just trying to keep up with your vocabulary. Should I use more technical terms? Would you prefer I discuss the biomechanics of what you and Jax were doing on our kitchen counter?" She flinches at the name. "How do you know about Jax?" "I know about all of them. Jax, Marcus, David, Sarah, Jennifer. I know their names, their addresses, their employment history, their criminal records. Did you know Jax has been arrested 3 times for attack? Very thorough background check you did there." "You don't understand. My marriage to you. It's been dead for years. We're like roommates. I needed something more." "So you decided to audition for amateur adult movie instead of talking to me about it?" "It wasn't like that." "Then what was it like? Enlighten me. Help me understand how my wife ended up starring in her own personal film festival." She's fully crying now, but there's something calculated about it. She's playing for sympathy, trying to make this my fault somehow. You're never here emotionally. You're always buried in your work, always focused on your computers and your clients. I felt invisible in my own marriage. So you decided to become very visible to half the town instead. I needed to feel desired, wanted, like I mattered to someone. And filming it all was just for posterity? She doesn't answer that one. Can't answer it, because we both know the truth. This wasn't about feeling desired. This was about power, control, the thrill of getting away with something. What do you want? She finally asks. What do I want? I lean back in my chair, savoring the moment. I want a divorce. I want full custody of Jamie and Tyler. I want the house. I want my retirement accounts untouched. I want you to take your little video collection and your boyfriend and disappear from my life. That's not going to happen. I have rights. I have claims to half of everything we've built together. Do you? Because I think when a judge sees these videos, when they see evidence of you bringing strangers into our home where our children live, when they see your association with people like Jax who have criminal records, I think your rights might be significantly reduced. You wouldn't. Try me. We stare at each other across the kitchen table, and I can see her mind working. She's trying to figure out her next move, looking for leverage, searching for a way to turn this around. The kids will hate you for destroying their family. The kids will understand that I'm protecting them from a mother who cares more about her Zek's life than their safety. You fool. I'm not the one who cheated. I'm not the one who brought strangers into our home. I'm not the one who lied for months while exposing my family to God knows what diseases or dangers. I close the laptop again. I'm just the one who found out about it. She stands up, glass crunching under her stockings. This isn't over. Yes, it is. You just don't know it yet. What's that supposed to mean? It means that tomorrow morning I'm filing for divorce. It means that I've already secured our financial accounts to prevent any sudden withdrawals. It means that I've documented everything, backed up all the evidence, and prepared for every possible response you might have. You've been planning this. I've been protecting myself. There's a difference. She starts to leave, then turns back. You know what your problem is, Alex? You think you're smarter than everyone else. You think you can control everything with your little computers and your careful plans. But real life doesn't work that way. Real life is messy and complicated, and you can't just debug it like one of your systems. You're right, I say. Real life is messy. But you know what? I'm very good at cleaning up messes. It's literally what I do for a living. After she leaves, I sit in the kitchen for another hour, listening to her move around upstairs. Drawers opening and closing, the sound of hangers sliding across closet rods. She's packing, which is smart. Getting her story straight, which is expected. Probably calling someone, which is fine. Let her make her calls. Let her gather her allies and plan her counterattack. Let her think she can spin this somehow, turn herself into the sufferer of a controlling husband who invaded her privacy. Because while she's busy playing damage control, I'm going to be 3 steps ahead. I've got evidence she doesn't know about. I've got resources she can't access. I got patience she's never developed. Most importantly, I've got the truth. And in my experience, the truth has a way of cutting through all the lies and excuses and justifications. My phone buzzes with a text from Marta. Mr. Alex, I see Mrs. Grant's car leave very early. Everything okay? I text back, everything's fine. Take the day off tomorrow. I'll explain later. Because tomorrow is going to be a very busy day. I've got lawyers to meet, accounts to secure, and a very thorough plan to implement. Melissa thinks this is just the beginning of a messy divorce. She thinks she can fight this, negotiate, find some way to maintain her lifestyle and her reputation. She's about to learn that when you live in a glass house, you shouldn't throw stones, especially when the other person has been collecting rocks for years. By Thursday morning, I've transformed our home office into a command center that would make a military strategist proud. 3 monitors display financial records, legal documents, and a detailed timeline of Melissa's activities. I've got phone records, credit card statements, and enough digital evidence to fill a small library. But the real breakthrough comes from an unexpected source. Mr. Alex, Marta says, setting down my morning coffee with the precision of a Swiss timekeeper. I need to tell you something important. What's on your mind? Yesterday, when I cleaned the Henderson house next door, Mrs. Henderson mentioned something. She says she see many cars in your driveway when you travel for work. Different people coming and going. She write down license plates because she worry about burglary. I nearly dropped my coffee. She kept records? She give me the list. Say she meant to tell you sooner, but she not want to seem like nosy neighbor. Marta pulls a folded paper from her pocket. She very detailed person. Dates, times, descriptions of people. The list is a gold mine. Mrs. Henderson, bless her paranoid heart, has documented every one of Melissa's visitors for the past 4 months. License plates, physical descriptions, duration of visits. It's like having a surveillance report written by the world's most observant busybody. I cross-referenced the license plates with public records and social media profiles. Jax's custom Mustang appears 17 times. A BMW registered to someone named Marcus Williams shows up 12 times. A Honda Civic belonging to Sarah Chen appears 8 times. But here's the interesting part. Some of these visits overlap. Melissa wasn't just having affairs, she was hosting parties. My phone rings, interrupting my research. It's Detective Ray Morrison, who lives 3 houses down and occasionally asks me to help with computer problems for the police department. Alex, I heard through the grapevine that you might be dealing with some personal issues. Wanted to check in, see if you need any advice. Small towns. News travels faster than gossip at a church bake sale. Thanks, Ray. Actually, I might have a question about something. Hypothetically speaking, if someone discovered evidence of potential criminal activity during a divorce proceeding, what would be the proper way to handle that? What kind of criminal activity? Hypothetically, maybe fraud, possibly money laundering, definitely tax evasion. There's a pause. Alex, are you telling me your wife is involved in something illegal? I'm telling you that I've discovered some financial irregularities that might interest the appropriate authorities. Bring me what you have. Unofficially, of course. 2 hours later, Ray is sitting in my office reviewing bank statements and financial records that paint a very interesting picture of Melissa's recent activities. Your wife has been making some unusual transactions, he says, pointing to a series of cash deposits. Large amounts, irregular timing, all just under the federal reporting threshold. I noticed that too. And these payments to Elite Fitness, she's been paying for personal training sessions 3 times a week for 6 months, but the amounts are way too high for standard rates. Unless she's paying for more than just fitness advice. Ray leans back in his chair. Alex, I think your wife and her boyfriend might be running some kind of scam, using the gym as a front, maybe offering special services to wealthy clients. That would explain the expensive cars in my driveway. It would also explain why she's been so careful about keeping cash transactions under the radar if they're not reporting this income. Then they're evading taxes on prostitution earnings. I didn't say that. But hypothetically speaking, if someone were to report suspicious financial activity to the IRS, they might be very interested in conducting an audit. That afternoon, I drive to Elite Fitness for a little reconnaissance. The gym is exactly what I expected. All chrome and mirrors and motivational posters about pushing your limits. Jax is easy to spot, strutting around in a tank top that's 2 sizes too small, barking instructions at a middle-aged woman who is clearly paying for more than fitness advice. He's younger than me, more muscular, with the kind of cocky confidence that comes from never having to think too hard about consequences. The type of guy who peaked in high school and has been trying to recapture that glory ever since. I wait until he's alone, then approach with my best impression of a potential client. Excuse me, are you Jax? I heard you might be able to help with some specialized training. He looks me up and down, probably calculating how much money he can extract from the middle-aged guy in khakis and a polo shirt. Depends on what kind of training you're looking for. The kind that requires discretion, privacy, special arrangements. His eyes light up. I think we can work something out. You married? Very. Then you understand the importance of keeping things quiet. Absolutely. In fact, I think we have a mutual friend, Melissa Grant. She recommended your services very highly. The change in his expression is immediate and dramatic. The cocky confidence evaporates, replaced by something that looks like panic. I don't know what you're talking about. Sure you do. Melissa Grant, real estate agent, blonde hair, great smile, very flexible in her approach to customer service. Look, man, I don't know who you are or what you want, but I'm Alex Grant, Melissa's husband. Now he's definitely panicking. His eyes dart around the gym, looking for exits, backup, anything that might help him out of this situation. This is a misunderstanding. Melissa and I, we're just friends. She's a client. That's all. Really? Because I have video evidence that suggests your relationship goes well beyond standard trainer-client boundaries. You're bluffing. I pull out my phone and show him one of the video thumbnails. His face goes white. What do you want? I want you to stay away from my wife. I want you to end whatever arrangement you have with her. And I want you to understand that if you cause any problems during my divorce proceedings, I'll make sure the police, the IRS, and everyone else who might be interested gets copies of everything I've found. You can't prove anything. Can I? I've got financial records showing payments from my wife to you that are way above standard training rates. I've got videos of you in my house engaging in activities that definitely aren't covered by your gym's insurance policy. I've got witness statements from neighbors who've documented your visits. He's sweating now, and it's not from his workout. This is maltreatment. No, this is a friendly conversation between two adults. Maltreatment would be if I posted those videos online with your name and address attached. Maltreatment would be if I sent copies to your other clients, your family, your employer. You wouldn't. Try me. I turn to leave, then pause. Oh, and Jax? That's a beautiful Mustang you've got out there. Custom paint job, upgraded sound system, must have cost a fortune. Be a shame if something happened to it. I don't touch his car. I don't need to. But as I'm walking to my own vehicle, I accidentally bump into a shopping cart that someone left in the parking lot. The cart rolls across the asphalt and gently taps against his rear bumper, leaving a small but visible scratch in that perfect paint job. Oops, I call out. Sorry about that. Hope your insurance covers acts of clumsy husbands. That evening, I'm reviewing security footage from our neighborhood when my phone rings. It's Miriam. Alex, we need to talk. Your wife's attorney contacted me today. Already? She works fast. She's claiming you've been maltreating her and her friends. Says you've been stalking people, making threats, violating her privacy. All I did was have a conversation with her boyfriend at his place of business. What kind of conversation? The kind where I explained the legal consequences of infidelity, fraud, and tax evasion. Alex, you need to be careful. If she can prove maltreatment, it could hurt your case. Let her try. I've got security cameras covering every inch of my property, and I haven't done anything illegal. I've simply been gathering information and having conversations. What about the financial evidence? The stuff you showed Detective Morrison? All legitimate. Public records, bank statements, witness accounts. Everything obtained legally and properly documented. Good, because I think she's going to fight dirty on this. Let her. I've been preparing for dirty. After I hang up, I sit in my office looking at the evidence I've collected. Financial records, videos, witness statements, expert testimony. It's enough to destroy Melissa's reputation, end her career, and probably land both her and Jax in serious legal trouble. But I'm not done yet, because while I've been building my case, I've also been learning about the other players in this drama. Melissa's friends, her clients, her social circle. All the people who've been enabling her behavior, covering for her lies, helping her maintain the facade of a perfect marriage. They think they're safe. They think they can continue playing their little games, gossiping and scheming and pretending they don't know what's really going on. They're about to learn that when you swim with sharks, eventually someone gets bitten. And I haven't even started feeding yet. Friday morning brings the first real counterattack. I'm debugging a client's server when Jamie, our 17-year-old daughter, storms into my office with the fury of a teenager who's just discovered her parents are human. Dad, what the hell is going on? I look up from my laptop to find her standing in the doorway, arms crossed, face flushed with anger and confusion. Behind her lurks Tyler, our 14-year-old son, trying to look tough but mostly succeeding at looking scared. Good morning to you too, sweetheart. What's got you upset? Mom's friends are saying you're trying to destroy her life, that you've been stalking people and making threats. Tara showed me text messages where Mom says you've lost your mind and she's afraid of you. Ah, the opening salvo. Melissa's playing the sufferer card, turning our kids into weapons. It's exactly what I expected, but it still stings. Come in and close the door, both of you. We need to have a conversation. They exchange glances, but comply. Jamie takes the chair across from my desk while Tyler hovers near the bookshelf, ready to bolt if things get too uncomfortable. Your mother and I are getting divorced, I begin. I know that's hard to hear, but it's been coming for a while. Because you can't handle her success? Jamie's voice is sharp, accusatory. That's what Tara said, that you're jealous of Mom's career and you want to control her. Is that what you think? I don't know what to think. Mom's been crying all week. She says you found some personal stuff and you're using it to blackmail her. I lean back in my chair, choosing my words carefully. These are my children, and they don't deserve to be caught in the middle of this war, but they also deserve the truth. Jamie, Tyler, I want you to understand something. Your mother and I are adults, and the problems in our marriage are between adults. But some of those problems affect you, and you have a right to know about them. What kind of problems? Tyler speaks for the first time, his voice cracking slightly. The kind where one person breaks promises they made to the other person. The kind where one person puts the family at risk for their own selfish reasons. You mean she cheated? Jamie's voice is flat, matter of fact. At 17, she's not naive about these things. Yes? With who? Multiple people, over several months, in our house. Tyler makes a disgusted sound. Gross. The point is, I continue, your mother made choices that hurt our family. I'm not trying to destroy her life. I'm trying to protect you and make sure we can all move forward safely. But Mom says you're being vindictive, that you're trying to take everything away from her. Your mother is facing consequences for her actions. That's not vindictive. That's just how the world works. My phone buzzes with a text. It's from Brian Kellerman, Tara's husband. We need to talk. Now. I show the message to Jamie. Looks like the truth is spreading faster than your mom's version of events. 20 minutes later, Brian is sitting in my kitchen, looking like a man who's just discovered his entire worldview was built on lies. He's a good guy. Works in accounting, coaches Little League, the kind of steady, reliable person who makes suburban neighborhoods function. Alex, I owe you an apology. For what? For believing Tara's version of events? For thinking you were the problem in your marriage? He runs his hands through his hair. She told me everything last night. About the parties. About covering for Melissa. About helping her sneak people into your house when you were traveling. The kids are listening from the next room, and I can hear Jamie gasp. Tara knew? Tara helped arrange it. She thought it was exciting, like some kind of soap opera. Said Melissa deserved to have fun after being married to such a boring husband for so long. Ouch. Alex, I'm sorry. I had no idea. If I'd known what was really going on, you would have stopped it? I would have told you immediately, this isn't just cheating, this is... I don't even know what to call it. I call it fraud, emotional, financial, and probably literal. What do you mean? I show him the financial records I've compiled. The suspicious payments, the cash deposits, the pattern of transactions that suggest something well beyond simple infidelity. I think your wife and mine were running some kind of escort service, using our neighborhood, our homes, as a base of operations. Brian's face goes through several color changes as he processes this information. That's impossible. Tara wouldn't... She's not. Brian, I've got video evidence of activities in my house that would make an adult movie director blush. I've got financial records showing payments that don't match any legitimate services. I've got witness statements from neighbors documenting regular visits from multiple individuals. Jesus Christ. The question is, what are you going to do about it? He's quiet for a long moment, staring at the papers spread across my kitchen table. I'm going to divorce her, he finally says. I can't be married to someone who would do this, who would help destroy someone else's family for entertainment. That's your choice to make. Will you help me? With the legal stuff, I mean? You seem to have figured out how to document everything. I'll share what I can, but Brian, you need to understand. Once you start down this path, there's no going back. These women are going to fight dirty. They're going to try to destroy your reputation, turn your friends against you, make you look like the villain. Let them try. I've got 18 years of being a faithful husband and a good father. My record speaks for itself. After Brian leaves, I find Jamie and Tyler sitting in the living room, both looking shell-shocked. Dad, Jamie says quietly, is it true? About Mom and Tara? I'm afraid so. That's so messed up. Yes, it is. What's going to happen now? Now we move forward. We figure out how to be a family without the people who were hurting us. But what about school? What about our friends? Everyone's going to know. Some will, and some of them will judge us for it. But the people who matter, the people who really care about us, they'll understand. Tyler, who's been silent through most of this conversation, finally speaks up. Dad, are you going to be okay? It's such a simple question, but it hits me harder than all of Melissa's lies and manipulations combined. My 14-year-old son is worried about me. I'm going to be fine, buddy. We're all going to be fine. It might take some time, and it might get messy, but we're going to come out of this stronger. That evening, I'm reviewing legal documents when my phone starts buzzing with notifications, social media alerts, text messages, emails. Something's happening. I check Facebook first. Tara has posted a long, rambling message about toxic husbands and controlling men who can't handle strong, independent women. It's clearly aimed at me, full of vague accusations and sufferer-playing rhetoric. But the comment section is not going the way she expected. Brian has responded with a simple, devastating post. Tara, tell them about the parties. Tell them about helping Melissa cheat on Alex. Tell them about the money. Tell them the truth for once in your life. The thread explodes. Neighbors, friends, acquaintances all weighing in. Some supporting Tara and Melissa, others asking questions, demanding explanations. Then someone, I suspect it's Mrs. Henderson, posts about the suspicious activity she's been documenting. License plates, dates, times. Other neighbors chime in with their own observations. Within 2 hours, the entire social media ecosystem of our suburban neighborhood is in chaos. Accusations flying, relationships imploding, secrets being exposed left and right. My phone rings. It's Melissa. Alex, you have to stop this. Stop what? You know what? The social media campaign, turning everyone against me. I haven't posted anything on social media, but you're behind it. You started this. I started it by discovering your affairs, by finding out you turned our home into a brothel. It wasn't like that. Then what was it like? Explain it to me. Help me understand how my wife ended up starring in an amateur adult movie with multiple partners while charging them for the privilege. Silence. That's what I thought. Melissa, you did this to yourself. You made the choices. You took the risks. You hurt our family. I'm just making sure everyone knows the truth. The kids hate me now. The kids are disappointed in you. There's a difference. This isn't over. Yes, it is. You just haven't accepted it yet. After I hang up, I sit in my office, watching the digital wildfire spread across social media. Relationships ending, secrets being exposed, the careful social fabric of our suburban neighborhood unraveling in real time. I didn't start this fire, but I did provide the matches, and I'm not done yet. Because while Melissa and her friends are busy trying to control the narrative on social media, I'm preparing for the main event. Court dates are set, evidence is compiled, witnesses are ready to testify. The real battle is just beginning, and I've got bigger weapons than Facebook posts and Twitter rants. I've got the truth. And in my experience, the truth always wins in the end, even when it takes a while to get there. The courthouse steps are slick with October rain when I arrive for our first official hearing. But the weather seems appropriate for what's about to unfold. 3 weeks have passed since the social media explosion, and the suburban battlefield has claimed several casualties. Brian and Tara are officially separated. 2 other couples in our neighborhood have filed for divorce after their own secrets came to light. And Melissa has been staying at her sister's house since Jamie told her she didn't want to see her face in our home anymore. But today is about more than personal drama. Today is about justice. Miriam meets me at the courthouse entrance, briefcase in hand, and the carnivory smile of a lawyer who knows she's holding all the winning cards. Ready for this? She asks. I've been ready for weeks. Good, because Melissa's attorney is going to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. Maltreatment claims, invasion of privacy, emotional misuse, the works. Let them. I've got documentation for every action I've taken, and all of it's legal. We walk through the metal detectors and into the marble-floored lobby of family court, where dreams of happily ever after come to die in a blaze of legal paperwork and bitter accusations. Melissa is already there with her attorney, a sharp-dressed woman named Victoria Chen, who specializes in high-conflict divorces. Melissa looks smaller than usual, diminished somehow, like a balloon that's been slowly leaking air for weeks. She won't meet my eyes. The hearing itself is mostly procedural temporary custody arrangements, asset freezes, restraining order requests. But it's also the first public airing of our private war, and Judge Patricia Morrison, no relation to Detective Ray, has clearly done her homework. Mr. Grant, she says, reviewing the case file, you're requesting full custody of both minor children, exclusive use of the marital home, and protection of all marital assets pending final resolution. Yes, Your Honor. And Mrs. Grant, you're claiming maltreatment, invasion of privacy, and requesting your own restraining order against your husband. Yes, Your Honor, Melissa's attorney responds. My client has been subjected to a campaign of intimidation and public humiliation designed to destroy her reputation and livelihood. Judge Morrison looks over her reading glasses with the expression of someone who's heard every possible variation of marital dysfunction. Mr. Grant, did you threaten your wife or her associates? No, Your Honor. I had conversations with individuals who were engaging in illegal activities on my property. I informed them of potential legal consequences and requested they cease those activities. And the social media situation? I've not posted anything on social media regarding this case. Other people have chosen to share their own experiences and observations. Mrs. Grant's attorney, you're claiming invasion of privacy regarding certain digital materials? Victoria Chen stands, clearly relishing her moment. Your Honor, my client's private personal materials were accessed without her consent and are now being used to publicly humiliate her. Materials that were stored on property owned jointly by both parties, Miriam interjects smoothly. And which document illegal activities taking place in the family home where minor children reside? What kind of illegal activities? Judge Morrison asks. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Miriam opens her briefcase and produces a thick folder of documents. Your Honor, we have evidence of tax evasion, unreported income from prostitution, money laundering through fake business transactions, and endangering the welfare of minors by bringing individuals with criminal records into the family home. The courtroom goes dead silent. Even the court reporter stops typing for a moment. Those are serious allegations, Judge Morrison says. Do you have documentation? Extensive documentation. Financial records, video evidence, witness statements, and expert testimony from law enforcement officials. Victoria Chen looks like she's been slapped. Clearly, this is the first she's hearing about the criminal aspects of her client's behavior. Your Honor, she stammers, these allegations are supported by evidence that has already been reviewed by the local police department and forwarded to appropriate federal agencies, Miriam continues. We're not just talking about infidelity here. We're talking about organized criminal activity. Judge Morrison reviews the documents for several minutes while the rest of us sit in silence. I can hear Melissa crying softly, but I don't look at her. This is her mess to deal with. Finally, the judge speaks. Based on the evidence presented, I'm granting temporary full custody to Mr. Grant, exclusive use of the marital home, and freezing all joint assets pending investigation by appropriate authorities. Mrs. Grant, you are prohibited from removing any items from the family home except personal clothing and toiletries, and any visitation with the minor children will be supervised. Your Honor, Victoria Chen protests, this is excessive. Counselor, your client is facing potential federal charges. The children's safety is my primary concern here. As we're leaving the courthouse, Victoria Chen pulls Miriam aside for a heated conversation while Melissa sits on a bench, staring at her hands. I walk over to her. This didn't have to happen, I say quietly. If you'd just been honest from the beginning, if you'd asked for a divorce instead of turning our home into a crime scene, we could have handled this like adults. She looks up at me, and for the first time in years, I see the woman I married. Scared, vulnerable, human. I never meant for it to go this far. But it did. And now we all have to live with the consequences. The kids will never forgive me. Maybe not, but that's between you and them. Alex, I'm sorry. I know that doesn't fix anything, but I am sorry. I know you are, but sorry doesn't undo the damage. That evening, I'm at home with Jamie and Tyler, trying to establish some kind of normal routine when Detective Ray calls. Alex, we've got a problem. What kind of problem? The kind where your wife's boyfriend just got arrested trying to break into your house. I look out the front window and see police cars in my driveway, their red and blue lights painting the neighborhood in alternating colors of chaos. Is everyone okay? Everyone's fine, but you need to get down here. Jax had some interesting things to say when we caught him. 20 minutes later, I'm standing in my own driveway, watching crime scene technicians dust my back door for fingerprints, while Jax sits in the back of a police cruiser, looking like his world just collapsed. What was he after? I ask Ray. Says he was trying to retrieve some property that belongs to him. Claims your wife was holding something that could incriminate him in other activities. What kind of other activities? The kind that involve multiple fake identities, credit card fraud, and a very sophisticated operation targeting wealthy older women through dating apps and fitness services. I stare at the police cruiser where Jax is sitting, and suddenly everything clicks into place. He wasn't just sleeping with Melissa for fun, he was using her. Looks that way. Using her client list, her access to expensive homes, her social connections, she was probably just another mark to him. Does she know? I doubt it. Women like your wife, they think they're special, think they're the exception. They don't realize they're just another target until it's too late. As the police finish processing the scene, I find myself feeling something I didn't expect. Pity for Melissa. She thought she was having exciting affairs with younger men. She thought she was living some kind of fantasy life. Instead, she was being manipulated by a professional con artist who saw her as nothing more than a useful tool. But my pity only goes so far, because while Jax might have been using her, she still made the choice to betray her family. She still chose to bring strangers into our home. She still chose to lie and cheat and put our children at risk. The consequences of those choices are still hers to bear. My phone buzzes with a text from Miriam. Jax's arrest changes everything. Melissa's attorney wants to meet tomorrow to discuss a settlement. I think they're ready to surrender. I text back, what kind of settlement? The kind where you get everything you asked for, and she disappears quietly. I look at my house, with its crime scene tape and fingerprint powder, and I think about the journey that brought us to this moment. The discovery of the flash drive and the investigation, the legal battles, the social media wars, all of it leading to this. A broken marriage, a shattered family, and a neighborhood that will never be the same. But also leading to justice. Truth. The end of lies and manipulation and betrayal. Tomorrow, Melissa will probably sign papers that give me everything I asked for. The house, the kids, the assets, the freedom to rebuild our lives without her chaos and drama. It should feel like victory. Instead, it just feels like the end of something that died a long time ago. But sometimes, endings are exactly what you need to find new beginnings. And I'm ready to begin again. The settlement meeting never happens. Instead, I wake up Saturday morning to find my security system screaming and my phone buzzing with alerts from every camera and sensor on the property. The timestamp reads 3:47 a.m., and the motion-activated floodlights have turned my backyard into a crime scene before any crime has actually been committed. I grab my phone and check the live feeds. Two figures are moving around my property, trying windows and doors, testing for weaknesses. Even in the grainy night vision footage, I recognize them immediately. Melissa and Jax. Apparently, his arrest yesterday was just a minor inconvenience. I call 911 first, then Detective Ray, then settle in to watch the show. Because after weeks of careful planning and legal maneuvering, it looks like my soon-to-be ex-wife and her criminal boyfriend have decided to take the direct approach. They're trying to break into my house. The irony is almost poetic. After months of Melissa sneaking people into our home for her illegal activities, she's now literally breaking and entering to try to cover up the evidence of those same activities. I wake up Jamie and Tyler, get them safely into the panic room I installed in the basement last month, because when you discover your wife is a criminal, you plan for contingencies. And then, settle in to watch justice unfold in real time. Through the security cameras, I can see Melissa and Jax arguing in hushed whispers by the back door. She's pointing toward different windows, clearly trying to direct him to the easiest entry point. He's shaking his head, probably realizing that breaking into the home of someone who's already documented your previous crimes is not a winning strategy. But desperation makes people stupid, and these two are clearly desperate. Jax finally manages to jimmy open the kitchen window, the one I deliberately left slightly loose after discovering it was their preferred entry point during their previous visits. I watch him boost Melissa through first, then climb in after her. They're inside my house now, officially committing felony breaking and entering, all captured in high-definition video with timestamps and GPS coordinates. My phone rings. It's Ray. Alex, we're 5 minutes out. Are you and the kids safe? We're in the basement safe room. They're in the kitchen heading toward my office. Do not engage them. Let us handle this. Wouldn't dream of it. I'm just going to sit here and watch them incriminate themselves further. Through the cameras, I can see them moving through my house with flashlights, trying to avoid triggering the motion sensors they don't know I've already disabled remotely. They head straight for my office, confirming that they're after the evidence I've collected. But here's the thing about being married to someone for 18 years. You learn their habits, their patterns, their predictable responses to stress. I knew Melissa would eventually try something like this. I knew she'd bring Jax. I knew they'd target my office, so I prepared accordingly. They find the safe where I keep important documents, and Jax immediately starts working on the combination lock. He's clearly done this before. because he has it open in less than 2 minutes. Inside, they find exactly what I wanted them to find. A decoy flash drive labeled Evidence Original Files, and a folder marked Financial Records, Copies for Attorney. What they don't find is any actual evidence, because all of that is stored in multiple secure locations they'll never access. But they don't know that. So they take the decoy materials and start heading for the exit, probably thinking they've just saved themselves from criminal prosecution. That's when the real fun begins. See, the decoy flash drive isn't just a fake. It's a specially programmed device that, when plugged into any computer, immediately uploads its contents to a public server and sends notifications to a predetermined list of contacts. The contents? A video compilation of Melissa and Jax's greatest hits, along with a detailed confession I recorded explaining exactly what they've been doing and why they're trying to steal evidence. So when they get home and plug that drive into their computer to see what they've stolen, they're going to broadcast their own crimes to the entire world. But that's still 20 minutes in the future. Right now, they're just two criminals fleeing the scene of their latest crime, carrying what they think is evidence of their previous crimes. The police arrive as they're climbing back out the kitchen window. Ray and 3 other officers surround them before they can reach Jax's car. I watch through the cameras as they're handcuffed, read their rights, and loaded into separate police cruisers. Melissa is crying and trying to explain that this is all a misunderstanding. Jax is demanding a lawyer and claiming he was just trying to retrieve his property. Neither of them realizes that everything they've said and done for the past hour has been recorded in multiple formats and automatically uploaded to secure servers. By the time I bring Jamie and Tyler up from the basement, the crime scene team is already processing evidence, and Ray is taking statements from neighbors who were awakened by the commotion. "Dad," Jamie says, watching her mother being driven away in a police car. "Is this really happening?" "I'm afraid so, sweetheart." "She's really going to jail?" "Probably. Breaking and entering is a felony, especially when it's part of a pattern of criminal behavior." Tyler, who's been unusually quiet through all of this, finally speaks up. "Good. It's a harsh thing for a 14-year-old to say about his mother, but I understand it. He's been watching this chaos unfold for weeks, seeing how Melissa's choices have hurt our family, destroyed our home, turned our lives upside down. Sometimes justice feels good, even when it's painful." The next morning, I'm drinking coffee and reading news reports about the arrest when Miriam calls. "Alex, you're not going to believe this. Try me. After last night, I'm ready to believe anything. That flash drive they stole, the decoy one, they plugged it in, and it uploaded everything to social media, sent copies to local news stations, and automatically filed reports with the FBI, IRS, and State Attorney General's office." I nearly spit out my coffee. It worked? Better than we could have hoped. Melissa's confession video is going viral. The local news is calling it the suburban scandal of the century. 3 other women have come forward claiming Jax scammed them through similar schemes. What about the criminal charges? Federal prosecutors are taking over the case. Money laundering, tax evasion, organized fraud, and now breaking and entering. Melissa's looking at serious prison time. And the divorce? What divorce? She's going to plead guilty to everything and disappear into the federal prison system. You'll get an uncontested divorce, full custody, all assets. She's got bigger problems now than fighting over property division. After I hang up, I sit in my kitchen, the same kitchen where this all started with a flash drive and a box of Zex toys, and try to process what's happened. 6 weeks ago, I was a boring IT consultant married to a successful real estate agent, living a quiet suburban life that looked perfect from the outside. Now I'm a single father whose ex-wife is facing federal charges for running a criminal enterprise out of our family home. The transformation is so complete, so dramatic, that it feels like someone else's life. But it's not someone else's life, it's mine. And despite the chaos, despite the pain, despite the complete upheaval of everything I thought I knew about my marriage and my family, I feel something I haven't felt in years. Relief. The lies are over. The secrets are exposed. The truth, however ugly and complicated and devastating, is finally out in the open. My phone buzzes with a text from Mrs. Henderson next door. "Alex, I just wanted you to know that the whole neighborhood supports you and the kids. What Melissa did was unforgivable, but you handled it with class. If you need anything, we're here for you." Similar messages are coming in from other neighbors, from Jamie and Tyler's teachers, from clients who've heard about the situation, people who've watched this drama unfold, and seen how I've tried to protect my children while seeking justice through legal channels. It turns out that when you handle a crisis with integrity and patience, people notice. That evening, as I'm making dinner for Jamie and Tyler, something I haven't done regularly in years because Melissa was always too busy for family meals, my daughter looks up from her homework. "Dad, are we going to be okay?" "We're going to be better than okay," I tell her. "We're going to be honest with each other. We're going to be a real family again." Without all the drama and lies? Without all the drama and lies, Tyler grins. "Does this mean we can finally get a dog?" "Let's not get crazy," I say, but I'm smiling too. Because for the first time in months, our house feels like a home again. The secrets are gone, the criminals are in jail, and we can finally start rebuilding our lives on a foundation of truth instead of lies. It's not the ending I expected when I first plugged in that flash drive, but it's the ending we deserved. Justice served, family protected, truth triumphant. Sometimes the good guys really do win in the end, even when it takes a while to get there.